I'm Gwen Shroyer with VOX News this morning, and we are talking to Jeremy Epperson of Meadow Lane Ministries. And Jeremy is affiliated with gospel music for a huge heritage in his family with the Singing Echoes. So first of all, Jeremy, you've been singing gospel music pretty much all your life. Can you explain your journey and maybe tell us, everyone here listening, how things have changed over the past 2 years for you and your family?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, Gwen, I've been born into this. My family has sung gospel music ever since I can remember. As a matter of fact, I can remember thinking when I was about 3 or 4 years old, I thought everybody got on a 40-foot Silver Eagle bus and went and traveled around and sung at different churches every weekend. That's what I thought when I was at a younger age, and I've just been born into it. By the time I was about 3 or 4 years old, I was singing in front of crowds of 2,000 and 3,000 people. And I was too young to realize I was scared to death. When I got a little bit older, I realized it scared me, but I've done that all my life. And of course, when I turned 5, I went to school and started kindergarten and went to just regular school like everybody does. And Dad would leave every week, and he'd be on the bus. I could leave him. I could expect him to leave on a Thursday night or a Friday morning, and he'd be gone until Monday morning. I'd see him again Monday morning, and that's just the way of life I've always lived. And I got to be a teenager and began to be interested in playing some instruments and things like that. So I began to play the drums, and before you knew it, I was playing drums with the Singing Echoes. And so I went to Bradley High School in 10th grade, and I can remember having a conversation with my dad that I felt like I wanted to begin correspondence school. So I went throughout my 10th grade year. And my 11th grade year, I started correspondence school, and that's where I completed my education, my high school education. And I was on the road when I was 14 years old. So I spent about 25 years singing with my family, the Singing Echoes, and we traveled all across the country singing gospel music, and it was very rewarding. But back in 2014, for a couple of years, I kind of felt that something was a little different, and felt like there needed to be a change, and God was dealing with my heart, and I didn't know what that change was going to be, but it was the first week of February in 2014. My father-in-law had major surgery, and they told us that it could be really bad. They said that he could hemorrhage and some things like that. He lived 6 hours away from us, and the group was going to be 6 hours in the opposite direction. So I told the group, I said, I'm going to need to stay this weekend because I honestly can't, if something happens, I need to be there. So I stayed home that weekend, which was very, very rare. Never missed any dates. I mean, I could be sick as I could be and still be on that bus, but wound up staying home that weekend, and he came through the surgery very well and surprised everybody. And the very next week I got on the bus, and I can remember as soon as the wheels hit the pavement, I just had a funny feeling. I couldn't explain it. I just felt like I didn't feel right. And we were in Tracy City, Tennessee that night, and we set up our equipment, got on stage and began to sing. And as I was on stage, I just had this overwhelming feeling that, it's time. And so I stepped down from the Singing Echoes that night. My wife didn't even have a clue that I'd stepped down. She was actually with my kids in Alabama for a show choir thing that they were doing down there, and she had no idea. I didn't call her and tell her. I mean, we'd been in contact and everything, but she didn't know. She came home the next day scared to death because I was sitting there. Number one, she was scared because somebody was in the house, but number two, I was there, and she didn't understand why I was there. And then we sat down and we talked for a little while, and I told her that I felt like God was leading me in a different direction. And I talked to the kids, and shortly thereafter we decided to start singing as Meadow Lane. And we began singing as Meadow Lane back in 2014, probably right at the end of February. And we actually sung our first date as Meadow Lane right here at Bradley High School in the Jim Smitty Arena, which is a gymnasium, of course. And we were singing for now Sheriff Watson's campaign rally. And he was campaigning for sheriff, and now he is sheriff. And so we sung for that. It was a very odd venue for us to sing at because we were brand new. I'd sung at a lot of venues like that, but the kids had never sung in a place like that before, and it was kind of scary for them because there was a big crowd and there was a lot going on, but we made it through, and we've been singing as Meadow Lane ever since.
So you have 2 children, your daughter and son, and of course your wife. What is it like going away from home and running out and doing all these wonderful opportunities, but what's it like on the road? And what's the furthest you've been out there?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because it's a lot different now than it used to be, because used to every weekend I would, for 25 years, which, I've not been married that long, but pretty close to that, for that amount of time, I was, leaving my family at home. My wife and my 2 kids all stayed at home for the whole weekend. Now I have them with me. So I can say it's rewarding in a lot of ways. It's exciting. We get to see new places that we'd never get to see before. We meet new people. We run into some strange situations, and some situations that you wish you hadn't been through. But it's we're blessed to be able to do that. It's exciting. We've traveled as far, now not as Meadow Lane, but I've traveled as far as Canada. We've sung in Canada before. We've sung over extreme West Texas. I can't remember the name of the town, but we've, as the Singing Echoes, we sung over there. We went up into Pennsylvania and Ohio and Illinois and Indiana. We used to frequent Florida quite a bit. So we've been pretty well traveled. Now Meadow Lane is still, trying to get their ground covered and everything, and get started going to some of these far out places. But we've been in, I guess you could call us a little bit, probably within a 300 to 400 mile radius. We've covered a lot of areas.
And you guys stay pretty busy. What kind of places are you playing at? Arenas, showcasing, churches, festivals? Tell us a little bit about that kind of experience.
Okay, we sing, mainly churches, but we do a lot of venues like concerts, and especially when the summer hits, we'll do a lot of outdoor concerts and things like that, festivals and things, and it just depends on who calls and what they need us for. But
any in particular coming up that we should know about next month or so?
We're going to be singing at the SGM Fanfare next month. We're really excited about that. It's a week-long convention that starts on a Monday and ends on Saturday. There's a lot of great gospel music going to be there, and some of the biggest groups in Southern gospel music will be there and represented, and we're really excited about being.
And where is that venue?
That's in Somerset, Kentucky, and it's a great venue. We were there last year, and just fantastic people, and we get to meet all kinds of new friends and fans, because a lot of other groups will have their fans and friends come along and see them, so they get to meet us, and we make new fans and friends then.
So I understand that you have a little bit something that just came about last week that's very exciting, especially for this community and the ones that follow you guys. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you guys.
Absolutely. I was really pleased to get this phone call last week, but back in February I told you about, I told you just a moment ago about the SGM Fanfare that goes on in Somerset, Kentucky, and one of the leading people on that is Randall Wilds and his magazine, which is one of the foremost magazines in Southern gospel music, called The Christian Voice. The Christian Voice every year will have an awards show, just like any award show that you've seen, country music awards or whatever. They have awards for the fan-nominated people for their favorite in whatever category it is. And so when they announced that the nominations, they were getting ready to take nominations, and we began to tell our friends and our fans and everything to to get online and nominate us. And I didn't, Gwen, I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a clue whether we would even get one nomination or anything. I had no idea what would happen, and I guess it was last Tuesday I got a call from the lady at the magazine, and she said, well, Jeremy, you guys have got nominations in 6 categories. And I'll be honest with you, when she said that, I nearly jumped out of my skin. I thought, wow, how in the world could that have happened? And so we're just really, really excited about it, and we've got a nomination for favorite Southern Gospel Group, which is just favorite group. We're excited about that being a new group. That's great. We've also got a nomination. I've received a nomination for favorite male vocalist, and that's humbling, to be honest with you. And my daughter Renee has been nominated as favorite female vocalist, so we're excited for her. She's in some very, very tall company. There's about 3 different folks that are in that category with her that have won that award multiple times, and it's an honor for her just to be mentioned among those. And so she's real excited. And my son has been nominated for Horizon Male Vocalist of the Year, and which is a great thing for him. He's not been singing for a whole long time, so he's really excited about that nomination. Our album actually was nominated for Album of the Year, and I attribute that to a lot of the songwriters that have written songs for our album. It's some of the best songwriters in the industry, like Gerald Crabb and Jeff Steele, Barry McDonald, Michael Lee. We both know Michael Lee very well, and a lot of great writers contributed to that album. So now it's nominated for Album of the Year. We're excited about that. The nomination that really is, I think, that I'm the most proud of, and I don't know that we'll win any of these, and it just depends on our fans and our friends and what God decides on it. But the one I'm most proud of is our nomination for Horizon Group of the Year. And that one there, just, when you're a new group and they recognize you as, this is kind of a most likely to succeed award. And so we're really excited about just being nominated for that one.
And in the field of gospel music, it's not just about performing it as an artist. It's actual the ministry and the impact that you have when you go out and minister. Some of that, sets itself up to show what you're really all about, not just the music, which, is outstanding. Tell the audience that's watching this, if they wanted to get involved, how they might find you, find more information about you, get your music, locate where you're going to be, playing, those type of things.
Okay, absolutely. If you would like to vote for us, the website, and I think they're going to put a graphic up for this, and that'll help you out. But the website is ChristianVoiceMagazine.com. And when you log on to there, when you get to that site, if you'll look up in the upper right-hand corner, there'll be a little link that you can click on there that says "Click here to cast your ballot," and you can just scroll down through there, find our name, and every time you see our name, just click the bubble next to it, and you can cast your vote for us. There is one other category that I'd like to make mention of that we did not get a nomination in, but my family, the Singing Echoes, did get a nomination in there, so I'm excited about that for them. They were nominated for Favorite Band. And so when I was with them, we won that award several times, and I know they would appreciate it. I'm sure I appreciate it, but I know they would too if you'd like to pencil them in on the favorite band award as well. But you can go there and do that. And that award show is actually for the folks that are here at school. That award show is going to be the Saturday of the last full week of school. That's the 21st of May. So a lot of you may or may not be able to hear the outcome. If you're interested in finding that out, you're welcome to follow us on Facebook. You just go click in your search, Meadow Lane, and just click the like button, and that will help you to keep up with us. That also has all of our information about where we're going to be in the future. Every time we book a new date, it will automatically post to our Facebook page, and it goes out, and everybody knows we're going to be there. It reminds them a week before and the week of the event, so they can keep in contact with us that way. You can also go to our website. It's meadowlaneministries.com.
Excellent. So you are also in the studio currently, am I right? Do you have a projection date for when that album is going to be completed?
Well, we're hoping within the next month we can finish up. We're working on a hymns and old favorites project, and we've took a lot of older songs that are out of the Redback hymnal, and then just some songs they're just favorite songs that we've heard down through the years that are sung in churches, some out of the Mulls singing book and things like that. And we've took some of those songs and put our twist on it. It's a little different. We've got 2 or 3 songs that probably everyone that's spent any time in church knows the song, but they sound a little different because we put our own little twist on it and made it just a little bit different. But we're excited about that coming out. Hopefully within the next month we'll have that product in our hands.
With Jeremy Epperson, I'm Gwen Shroyer for VOX News. Remember, meadowlaneministries.com, and also you can like them on Facebook by doing a search for Meadow Lane.